Hi there, happy Tuesday, everybody. I always keep the time on my computer set on East Coast time, so I have any idea when games might be happening, even though I'm on the West Coast right now in California. Weather's nice, I gotta admit. All right, let's talk about college basketball. Let's talk about NHL. We're not really going to talk about the brackets specifically. We're just going to talk about today's college basketball games and a couple from the previous day. I mean, yesterday we went 4-0. I did a video from State Line Solar Farm on the Nevada and California state line. And I said take Middle Tennessee, and I said take Abilene Christian. And both those teams won and covered. So that was a good day yesterday for college basketball. Today, only 5 games, no bracket, no March Madness bracket games. They pick up again, I believe, on Thursday. So these are different like NIT tournaments or other types of tournaments that are going on. Some good teams in here. One thing I noticed was the only underdog you have on here is St. Bonaventure. They have a worse strength of schedule differential than Virginia, so that kind of makes this a bit more of a difficult pick. I've learned that staying away from teams that have bad strength of schedule comparisons is usually the right move because you just can't trust that their stats are as good. But it does say that they would win. It's probably going to be a good game. And taking them plus 3.5 is probably not a bad idea. But when you look at this grid, and I give advice to people, which I'm starting to do, everyone's asking me, what are the picks? What do I make as a pick every day? And you want to pick premium games only. You actually don't want to mess around with a ton of different things because it's you're going to end up losing one of them. But if you want to just win, well, what looks good on here? Well, this looks good on here. It's Texas El Paso. Texas El Paso has a great strength of schedule differential, and Southern Utah has some injuries. So even though the margin here is very close, and actually Texas El Paso not a great team, but there are a lot of factors saying they're probably going to win this game. So that's one on the list at minus 178. I wouldn't worry about the 4 points. I would just take them to win. Then what about Xavier and Vanderbilt up here? The margin's still very low on all of these games. These are all really, really close games, actually. But the injuries on Xavier, it makes you want to go through the injury report specifically to really find out what's going on there before you make a decision. But no, it just means there's going to be a lot of potential either way with injuries here on both teams. UNC Wilmington against Northern Colorado, that's a pretty good line at minus 130. The strength of schedules are about the same. So all things being equal, these are not great teams. But does think that UNC Wilmington wins this. Abilene Christian, Middle Tennessee, this is a good game as well. Look at these toss-up games. There's a lot of good games. Actually, not really anything too explicit to take. A lot of close games. So let's talk about hockey where there's a bigger schedule today. Goaltenders always really matter a lot in hockey. Yesterday, by the way, I mean, not only was it a perfect day for college basketball, it was a perfect day for hockey as well. These teams, a lot of them didn't cover. Colorado didn't cover against Edmonton. They covered the 1.5 puck line. Boston did not cover the 1.5 puck line against Montreal. But Nashville did. And in the video yesterday, I said play Nashville. And look at that. I mean, they do kind of what it says to do. So it was a good day for hockey yesterday. Today, we're looking at pick ranks. Number 1 pick of the day, Rangers over New Jersey, even with Shesterkin going as projected instead of, I'm sorry, Shesterkin is the very good goaltender we're talking about. That makes sense. The question is, well, what happens if they don't play Shesterkin? Didn't he just play the other night against Carolina? I don't know if he did or not. But if he plays, the number 1 pick of the day is the Rangers, but it's really important. You got to figure out what the confirmed goalies are because the Rangers really are a different team. When you start messing around and changing goalies on them, their strength, will go from 70 to something else if you put, who's the other one? Who's the other goalie for the Rangers? It's Georgiev, right? They both got weird names. If you put Georgiev in there, you can watch what happens to this game. His goalie ranking is not 78. Yeah, it's going to change stuff. I need to change it in different places. The point is you really, really, really have to know. So if he goes, good. All right, well, let's look. There are some confirmed goaltenders here for Columbus and Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is the number 3 pick of the day. thinks they win this game 6-2-ish. The line is agreeing with it. The line here is only -143 on the Rangers against the Devils. I don't understand this. Do they think Shesterkin is not going? They're projecting Georgiev maybe? I don't know. All right, what else we got? So Pittsburgh's line is bad, and that's trouble in that game. How about the second pick of the day is supposed to be Calgary over San Jose? Calgary, other than that weird loss to Buffalo, they're still playing really good hockey. -310 though. Extremely difficult. Thinks they could get up to 6 goals, but Reimer's goalie rating is not as good as I thought it would be, although he's better than some of these other goalies. So tough game here because of the line, but they are the number 2 pick of the day. How about we did the 3 pick was Pittsburgh. 4 pick is Winnipeg over Vegas. By the way, oh my God, the trades. Oh my God, the trades. I changed so many players' teams when scrolling through here. For example, if a team is wrong, if you have a team wrong, you get this "oh no" pops up over here. And basically what has to happen is you have to then change what their actual team is in this column to the correct new team. It's looking at the stats to determine if a team has changed team, or a player has changed teams, and it's noted here in the player statue. So there was a million trades. I mean, I probably changed 30, 35 people, big name people. Marc-Andre Fleury is on Minnesota. Is he starting tonight? Are they playing tonight? I don't see them on here. There's a lot going on. So let's just keep going down the list for a second. St. Louis with Ville Husso expected against Vanacek. Caps are fighting and playing well. Thinks that this is a really close game by this projected score, but it gets flipped because Washington's been playing better than St. Louis. So that's consistent with the line, but it does like this. See that normally it's like throughout the season, normally St. Louis would beat Washington in this matchup, but lately they wouldn't. That's what it's saying. It's saying right now Washington is streaking better, and so you'd go with them, but odds makers agree with that apparently. Tampa Bay and Carolina, that's going to be a good game. That's the game of the night right there. Look at that. Predicting only a 3-2 game because both of these goaltenders are really good. And even though these teams are good, the goalies are good. So even in the alternate projected score, they cannot get this game over 5.5 goals. So it's saying play the under. Yeah, and you can get under 6. Perfect. Yeah, the alternate under 6 there is something I'm going to advise people to play because of these goaltenders and because the projected score, which usually comes up with higher scores in a lot of these games like this, is sticking this down pretty low. I bet you end up with like a 2-1 game there. Philadelphia and Detroit. Higher scoring game here because your goaltenders are a disaster. Closer game. It does favor the underdog pick. It says take Philly to beat Detroit because they've been playing a little better and Detroit's been playing awful. So you get an underdog money line there on Philly that's reasonable, but boy, does it say over. Oh my goodness. I mean, 8.8 goals. What's the over-under in that game? 6. So there's the over 6 in that one that it says to take. And you also got a Philly underdog line possibly also take. Ottawa and the Islanders predicting a tie. This is the tie game apparently. Is Ottawa and the Islanders with Forsberg and Varlamov. Thinks a lot of goals, but a lot of goals that result in the tie. And this -215 is ridiculous then. Algorithm says barely take the Islanders, but that they're the lowest pick of the day. So Ottawa plus 1.5 is actually what it's telling you to do. If you're reading the algorithm appropriately there. Vegas and Winnipeg we talked about because Winnipeg was one of the higher picks. We didn't really talk about it, but it does think Winnipeg wins this game, and the line's Vegas, a team, Logan Thompson's expected. Yeah, watch the goaltenders there. There's more info to come on that game. Edmonton and Dallas, another close one that Dallas could win, except look at Dallas falling off the wagon in the last 15 days, and the opposite occurring with Edmonton, which is fascinating because that is driving the underdog line of Edmonton to win this game. So that's kind of like the Philly game. It's a sneaky underdog line that the algorithm thinks will actually win the game outright because of the way the teams have been playing. Then we did San Jose, Calgary. It's tough to bet because of the line. Seattle and Arizona, a high-scoring tie. You got no underdog line. It says take Arizona, a team playing better, winning half their games. And Seattle picking up a little bit, but this is another one of those bet the tie games, honestly. If you can ever roll those things together, but it's a tougher game, but the odds are kind of even either way. So it would say take Arizona if you're just taking a winner. And then Nashville and LA, surprisingly close game, and another underdog line for a team on the road. Look at how well Nashville has been playing, and LA dropping off the wagon. So that is happening a few times. You got these road teams, like your underdog round robin for your road teams is Nashville, Arizona almost at minus 105, Edmonton, Philadelphia, and the Rangers probably, especially if Shesterkin is going for sure. So there's a lot to play today. And I'm not betting in California unless I like do that deposit on like BetUS or something like that. I don't like to do that. I like betting on FanDuel. I like betting all kinds of different combinations. So I might just sit back and watch what happens and everyone else that makes their bets. So good luck, everybody. I will start doing some work on the bracket forecast for the rest of the March Madness tournament coming up here starting on Thursday, and I'll dig that up and see how it's going. I actually haven't paid attention to me run around. So good luck, everybody. May all your picks be winning.